Good job.
Our salutatorian is a student whose contribution to Bellarmine's graduating class has been visible and manifold. He represents the spirit of the class through his manner of living Christian values, his consistent expression of personal integrity, and the multiple ways that he has embodied the life and spirit of this class. It is an honor to announce and invite him up to the stage, this year's salutatorian, Jonny Hale.
Hi, everybody. You guys remember that kid who dressed up as Dr. Dalton for Halloween earlier this year? Yeah? Well, whoever you are, you absolutely nailed it. Granted, Dr. D's got a pretty consistent look. Get the vest, the beard, and a quiet but deeply piercing philosophical gaze, and you pretty much have it. Whenever I catch myself taking this school for granted, I always picture Dr. Dalton standing outside Loki, looking at the trees and the buildings and thinking about life. Dr. Dalton's class taught me to always remember the blessings that I've been granted and to be thankful for them. I mean, he might be coming up with the secret plan to make Hawaiian shirts the official school dress code for all I know. But regardless, it's always worth remembering how beautiful and diverse this campus is. We have such a wonderful gift here in the form of the time that we spend at Bellarmine and the lessons that we take away as we move on to the next phase of our lives. I'm going to ask everybody here to look around you, and when this assembly ends, go look outside. This is our school. We're students at an institution founded in 1851 on the amazing premise that young men should be educated to follow the Jesuit traditions of seeking justice and living mindfully. We have an incredible array of tools at our disposal with which to change the world, and the path is set forth for us to do it. That's something I'll never forget about this place. Bellarmine has made us all grow in so many ways. I came to this school as a nervous freshman, and now look at me. I'm an adult. At least I'm legally one. I think my parents would beg to differ about how much of an adult I really am. But still, high school passes by fast, and it's the time that shapes who you are. I'm not the same person that I was when I started this school, and I firmly believe that I would have been a different person if I had gone somewhere else. That's because my time here has been filled with formative experiences that have shaped my character. I remember one hot August day, I was walking out to JV football practice and did a funny dance, and I flexed my arms and I was checking myself out a little bit in the window of a parked car that I thought was empty. Well, the window rolls down, and inside the car was Coach Clay, my defensive line coach, dying with laughter. This experience taught me that if I ever get too cocky, I'll end up embarrassing myself. Even if that incident destroyed my proud ego, I'll never be as humble as the members of the volleyball team who have quietly risen to become the 9th-ranked team in the country. I'll never be as humble as Mr. Barone, an expert engineer who applies his profound knowledge of calculus to the classroom. My peers and faculty have been exemplary models of humility, and I aspire to be like them as I stumble through life. Football taught me how to love and support my friends through hardship and injury, and my experience on the team also taught me how to stand by my beliefs and be confident in my abilities. One memory stands out to me, and I love telling the story. In the spring of my sophomore year, I had just begun varsity workouts, and I was nervously adapting to the new environment. Didn't know much about Coach Emery's, but I knew that he could disintegrate football players by invoking the power in his magical grade. So I was pretty scared when he called me over to talk to him on one particular Wednesday morning. "Hey," he says. "Yes, Coach," I responded. "Don't be sloppy." So I stood there for a second, and then he asked me what I was still doing there, and that was it. But that's life, I guess. You can't be sloppy. Whether it's on the football field or in my own life, those are words that I'll live by. When I think of precision, several Bellarmine students come to mind, and most of them don't play football. Picture Jacob Servino, his precise editing skills allow him to create and edit incredible films. I picture Jerome Reduda, whose neat plaid button-up shirts and precise articulation have stuck with our class step by step. And I picture Weston Del Signor, whose incredible drawings evoke attention and detail with the pen. I could go on and on about all the Bellarmine students who live with precision and dedication to their craft. This class, and the school for that matter, is an amalgamation of kind, hardworking, and dedicated individuals. That's because although my own experiences have molded me into the person I am, our time here shapes us. The universal values which we learn as we form our identity are embodied in the students here at Bellarmine. During my time here, during my junior year actually, I was a TA for Mr. Hale, and I was pretty terrible at it, to say the least. I was in charge of making and grading Mr. Hale's infamous vocab quizzes, and I missed a few deadlines. For those who don't know, the quizzes are 3 sections, and the last section requires the students to make a sentence using the vocab word. I knew I wasn't good at my job when I started grading sentences like, Mr. Hale was upset by the lethargy of his teacher's assistant. Or, Mr. Hale chided his TA for forgetting to grade the vocab quiz. That was kind of a low point for me. But it's what taught me how commitment to deadlines affects others. I still struggle with this. As I frantically wrote the final draft of this speech, I reflected that this is one of the last high school assignments that I get to procrastinate on. And I say one of the last because I just remembered that I have calculus due next period. Regardless, if there's anything that unites Bellarmine students, it's procrastination. I learned a lot from procrastination, especially by sitting at a Spanish table with Atharva Mendeley, Richard Roger Kemper, and Dariush Ansori. I learned a lot about procrastination in that class because Atharva and Richard really taught me how to buckle down and give myself to my studies, while Dariush taught me how to desperately text someone late at night and ask what the homework was the next day. But no matter what class we're in or how much we're procrastinating, the people at Bellarmine make sure that we learn. Mr. Lum's class taught me how to love and appreciate the art and movies that I used to think were only for snobby people. And while it's cool to analyze wonderful films like Akira Kurosawa's Ron, Mr. Lum also taught me how to find my passion in life by embracing my true self. And if I could use a timeless Mr. Lum quote, Jonny, it's quotation. Mr. Wong's class taught me the hard way that I needed to study to do well on tests. But his ability to integrate current events into lectures about molecular biology also taught me that any subject of learning is applicable and as fun as you want it to be. Plus, it's okay to be a functioning addict sometimes, as long as it's Diet Coke. In Mr. Fascio's U.S. history class, I struggled to discover my relationship with my country's history as I wrote my research paper. I also learned that you can teach a class in sweatpants and still look very professional. But that's the sort of stuff that Bellarmine gives you. I'm indebted to my parents for encouraging me to consider Bellarmine 4 years ago. Mom and Dad, you were right about this place. I'm also infinitely grateful to the faculty for making my time here so profoundly formative. The teachers, administrators, and staff of this school allow Bellarmine to be the place that it is, and they have educated me to become a man foreign with others. To my senior classmates, I'm gonna miss you guys. It's been 4 years of learning, 4 years of growth, and 4 years of fun. Thank you so much to all you've taught me. We all have things to learn from this school, and as we move on to the next phase of our lives, we'll use our gifts to go forth and set the world on fire. Congratulations to the class of 2018, and as always, go Bells!